Hey, this is Hungry Hyena from the future. Sorry for the random times when the audio cuts out. My mic sensitivity was like super fucking low, so my bad on that one. Alright, what's up? My name is Hungry Hyena 78. Um, I am the owner and the maker of Corrupted, which is a zombies competition based server. Um, I'm gonna be walking you guys through basically what this server is all about, what it does differently, um, compared to anything else you've really ever seen, and why it could be an extremely fun server for um, a lot of casual Black Ops 3 zombie players. It's only for Black Ops 3 because the systems I created only work for that game. So, with that out of the way, let me start explaining stuff. So, the first thing is, let me explain where the server came from. Um, One day I decided not a lot of people want to play high round gameplay because after a certain point where a skill cap ends, assuming this is assuming people don't want to play for 50 hours. So assuming reset isn't a thing, casual players who will probably never want to get there. Nobody wants to play a 30, 40, 50 hour game, however long, to, you know, to to eventually just get a reset. Nobody has time for that unless you're like a extremely competitive high round zombies player. So with that in mind, I made a competition for zombies um, that removes that. It does this via round caps. So you might say like a round cap, like isn't that extremely stupid because it just removes competition. So like if I wanted to cap Ascension at round 50, you'd say that's fucking dumb because people are just gonna tie, and then and then that's it. Like category's dead. Like what happens? That's a great question, and to answer that, what ends up happening is we add prestiges. So you prestige a map. This is based on an individual level. There will be leaderboards for it, so you could still compete against people. But here's how it'll work. Basically, if you get to like around 50 on Ascension, you've at that point gotten to the skill cap. And by the skill cap, I mean you can, if getting any better at the map isn't really going to affect how long you can go for, assuming there's no reset. This was something a high rounds zombie player named ZombieDawg and I spoke about briefly last night. And he basically agreed that yeah, if there's no reset, then you know, going from around 50 to 70 could be the same as 70 to 2 million. Doesn't matter. It comes down to RNG and um how much time you want to put in. So let's say you get to around 50 on Ascension on Prestige 0, where there are no modifiers. Then what happens is you on an individual level you unlock Prestige 1. What that means is when you play Prestige 1, there are added modifiers. So, for example, you get to Prestige 0 around 50 on Ascension, which is the cap. You've shown all the skill you can for that category. If someone ties you in that category, you both get 3 points. Three points go to first place, two for second, 1 point for third. And if I change little screens here, you'll see there's a free map leaderboard and a paid map leaderboard, so nobody complains, oh, I don't have this DLC or whatever, so that they're at a disadvantage or any shit like that. And this is obviously an extremely new Discord, so there's barely any records. A lot of the records are pretty shit right now because they've been like 1 or 2 attempts on them, and then we just post them because why the hell not? But anyways, for example, if you get to Prestige 1 in Ascension, there's an added modifier, so it may be no jug, no quick, no perks, whatever. And you might think, okay, so that's is that it? You just add things that potentially are not that difficult. And the answer is yes and no. So prestiges go pretty much infinitely. So if someone gets to, and they also stack, which is an extremely important thing. If you get to prestige 4 Ascension, prestige 4, 3, 2, and 1 will all of those modifiers added per prestige will add up. So by prestige 4 you could have there's a mod we use to, take out delays in the game and increase zombie counts, and maybe zombies are sprinting from round 1. There's timed gameplay. There's a shit ton of categories that are really fucking hard. As you can see here. But yeah, if you play Prestige 4 Ascension, you may be going against a max count of 50 with no delays and no quick, no jug, and then I don't know. The last modifier could be no sliding, for example, which would be actually really fucking hard. So this system with the prestiged maps, what this creates is it creates a leaderboard where the best player in terms of skill will eventually get to the furthest prestige. And and you know, I was talking to ZombieDawg. He's a high rounds player for Moon, one of the best in the world, and he was saying, yeah, that checks out, that works out. It's for a more casual player base. He didn't think I would get many competitive players, which is fine. I don't expect to. That's what we agreed upon. So he said, hey, make a video about it. Here I am. So let's talk about what this all is. These are categories. So for example, if I zoom in, this right here is a category. Every single category in that we have uses zombie options. And TF zombie options does a lot of things. Add new weapons to the game. Zombie count, as I mentioned earlier, it can take out the delays in the game earlier. You can turn on a timed mode where zombies infinitely spawn. Shit ton of stuff. You can take out power ups, whatever. So, these are all just categories. You'll see that the no quick and no perks category have submissions in them because people have submitted stuff. Like I said, there's not a lot of people because we just started, but if people decide to join, then we'll have a nice leaderboard going. Things like melee only, first room is obviously a classic. No perks is a classic. And then things like the survive category, which there's a bunch of scores to put here that I haven't yet because of the forums. Other than that, this leaderboard here is a total leaderboard. As I said before, if you get first place in the category, you get 3 points. If you get second, you get third, you get 1. That's why these points are listed here. And then finally, we're going to talk about the. So, there's a mod application form. If you want to be a mod for the Discord, which I'll show in a second. If you want to request any map on the Steam Workshop, you can put a link to the workshop item, and we'll check it out and see if it's a map we want to add. This Discord for Zombies competition, you can submit any category idea you want, any map idea you want, and potentially it could be added. So if you have a category called RK5 only, potentially we'll just say, yeah, what the hell, we'll throw it in there. And there you go, you have a new category to play with people on. And whoever you want, maybe your friends, you all compete on that category. And a category goes for any map. You may be wondering what maps you could play. If you go to this channel in the Discord, hashtag how to play, you'll see that there are 7 steps. If you just read these, it becomes you basically know how to get into the Discord very easily and compete against people. This is a list of all maps that we have supported right now. So if you want to do categories on any of these maps, most of them are Steam Workshop, obviously. And I actually do have to edit this and add every vanilla Black Ops 3 map, so I'll go ahead and do that soon. anyways, like I said before, you could submit any category you want. So you just put your name here, and then explain the category in detail. It's pretty simple. And then obviously is submissions, which we have 2 submissions from the same person, a bunch of runs, which I will have to go through and make sure that they follow the rules. So let's talk about the Discord. If I go here, these are just general announcements. Sometimes we will make polls based on like really hot button things that need to be addressed, and I'm all about fairness, so I put in hours of time to make sure that we make pro and con lists and all that to make sure as fair as possible. Obviously, this section is learn how to play. Competition info is probably the most extremely important thing on our server. If you join the server and you do not read this, you will not won't know what the hell you're doing, because there are 13 rules that you have to abide by generally for all runs and categories. There's general information, which is extremely useful, and then just some basic terms at the bottom to get more clear. These are where all the submission forms are, so if you want to submit a video, you go here. Category, you go here. If you want to request a map, go here. Then obviously mod application. Every single new submission will be added. So if you submit a run, you will know that it gets verified if it gets put here. And it'll also be placed on the leaderboard, obviously. All maps to play, questions and suggestions. No one's really used this yet. And then obviously general, and then from in here. That's the entire server. So let's just do a basic conclusion. This server promotes the idea of skill over RNG and how long you play a map for. I don't think that you should do a competition where people have to play for longer. Doesn't make sense to me. So instead, we have these shorter 2 to 3 hour games instead of 30 or 40 or 50. And in these 2 to 3 hour games, they get progressively harder. There's a bunch of categories to play that are all very difficult, etc. Basically the gist. If you like this idea for a server, I would really appreciate if you gave it a chance. The link to the server will be in the description. So yeah, feel free to join it and participate if you really think it's a good idea. Huge props to ZombieDawg. He's in the Discord right here. Like I said, he's a high round player from Moon, and he's extremely good. Huge props to him because he gave me the idea to really put out a video and explain this stuff, because he really liked the idea as well. So yeah, much appreciated. And that's it. That video. If you want to join Corrupted, which is the name of this server, the Zombies competition, feel free. We, obviously have this one mod called TF Zombie Options that we use. You can play any map, whatever the fuck you want, any category you want, and any singular person in the Discord can easily participate with very little trouble. So thank you for watching, and the video wasn't too long.